What is going on, guys, and welcome back to the channel. If you're new to the channel, please be sure to drop a like and subscribe to the channel, and also check out the rest of the videos on my channel as well. In today's video, I will be replacing the front brakes on my R36 Passat, so let's get to it. So here it is, guys. This is my 2009 Passat R36 sedan model. Like I said, I will be replacing the front brakes. So here I have the mile front discs and 80-year ceramic pads as well. The discs are quite lipped and the pads are quite low. I haven't driven it for a while now. I've been working on the other cars, so it'll be time today to get this front brake setup done. So first things first, I need to jack up the car and put on jack stands so it's nice and safe and secure to work on. And then I will be removing the front wheels and starting the removal process. So obviously, this being a DIY video, I'll be showing a step-by-step guide of how to replace them and what to look out for. Alright, so the tools you're going to need for this job are your ratchets, your 3/4 and your halves, your breaker bars, either a larger and a medium sized one, a screwdriver for a lever. You'll need a 21mm for your carrier, 17mm for your lug bolts. You'll need a T30, that'll be for the screw, retaining screw for your disc, 7mm Allen for the caliper bolts, flathead screwdriver to take the caps off for the caliper bolts, a little hanger to hang your calipers onto your shocks when working on the rest of your brake system, your mallet, unless just in case your rotor is seized to your hub, PPE, gloves and glasses, wire brush to clean off the brake dust from the carriers, calipers and the rust from your hub as well. G-clamp, you can either use a G-clamp or you can use a piston compressor, which is obviously more ideal, but I'll show you how I use this as well. Also some jack stands and a jack as well. Alright, let's get to it. So yeah, the car is now in jack stands, safe and secure, off the ground, and plenty of space to work on the car. So here are the front brakes for the R36. A bit dirty, a bit rusty because it's been sitting for a while, it's been raining, but the lip, I don't know if you can see it, but the lip is quite big. And obviously the pads are pretty much done, so I think it's a good time to go ahead and start pulling the calipers off. Alright, so first things first, remove this retaining clip. So flathead screwdriver in and just flick it out like that. Just be careful, just hold on to it because it might just flick off. Obviously this one's been there for a while. Next will be these 7mm Allen bolts, that one here and one here. So you need a flathead screwdriver to take the cap off and a 7mm Allen to take the bolt off for the caliper. Alright, so now that the 7mm Allen bolts are loose and free from the caliper, you can go ahead and remove the caliper from the car. Easiest way to do that is either pull the caliper towards the side of the car to compress the piston to take it off, because obviously the caliper needs to go around where the carrier is, so obviously it'll hit otherwise. So what you can do is you can either pull it, or like I've done, screwdriver in the back. I'll give you a quick little look here. Got a screwdriver in the back here and just jimmied the pad and the piston back. That's giving you enough space to get the caliper off. Not ideal if you want to keep your pads, but since I'm already replacing the pads anyway, that's made it easy for me. And there you go, it's off. I just hang it on your suspension somewhere, so it makes life a little bit easier, like so. So it just hangs out of the way. You have access to the rest of the brake system. Now that that's out of the way and free, come back here and you can see the 21 mils for the carrier. They'll come off next. There you go. There's your carrier and your two 21mm bolts. So to remove the disc or the rotor, you need a T30 to remove this retaining screw, and then the rotor should just come straight off. These can strip very easily, so be very mindful. Try and keep it as square as you can, with a decent amount of pressure behind it. And there you go. Screws out. Right. So this is where you might come into a bit of an issue. It's seized on there. A lot of brake dust and debris from the road grime and stuff. So best thing you can do is get a mallet, give it a tap around. You can actually give it a tap behind as well to knock it off, but then find a spot where you're not going to hit anything, and it works as well to move it around, tap it as well. Just be careful you don't hit the dust shield, because you don't want the dust shield bending and scratching the back of the disc. There you go. And there is one used and very lipped R36 disc. So now that you have the rotor out of the way, you can go ahead and clean around the hub. I normally use a steel brush attachment on my drill, work my way around and clean that off. And while I'm here as well, I'll also clean up the carrier and the brake calipers as well from all the brake dust, because as you can see, they used to be nice and blue, but now there's a tinge of brake dust. So while we're here, let's take out these old pads. As you can see, they are quite low. You can see minus the damage from the screwdriver when I took off the caliper, but they are well and truly done. So here, a bit of persuasion to get out as well. There you go. And there is the other side. Very low. So we got to them just in time. So I'll give these a clean up, and then we'll start the reassembling stage. Just for the cleaning stage as well, thought I'd mention as well the 7 mils for the calipers. You want to take them out as well and give them a good clean, because that's how they looked, and that's how the one I've cleaned looks like now. So best pop them out and give them a good clean as well, because that's where the caliper actually slides on. I want a nice smooth surface. Obviously all the brake dust and that's collected in there. Yep, it's not pleasant at all. So give that a clean and then start reassembling. So here we have it. a lot cleaner than they used to be. Obviously not 100%, but they will do. I also cleaned the caliper as well, so it looks a lot better, I think anyway. Probably looks better on camera than it does off camera, to be honest. I also cleaned the dust shield as well. Let's give it a brush down. The product I used to clean the caliper, and that was the orange agent and just a Forceps brush, the little Pedro they call it, but anyone's, you know, will work. To get the coarse, the built up brake dust, I used a bit of a wire brush. I went over it with the orange agent with a brush and the cloth, and I think it came up reasonably well. So to put the new brake pads in, you need to compress the piston. So there's two ways you can do it. You can get one of those generic brake caliper compressors. They're about $100 in Repco, more online, I guess, or cheaper online, depending where you look. I'm a bit old school, or ghetto, maybe. I'm gonna use a G-clamp. All I'll do is I put the old pad back in there. I get my G-clamp on here like that. Clamp it up on a nice flat spot. So I'm using just the back of the caliper. I've undone the cap for the brake booster reservoir. And then all I do is just squeeze this, just rotate this around, and that compresses the piston back in. So if you ever get stuck of doing it and you don't have the actual tools, these G-clamps work a treat. So here's the new rotor, nice and shiny and clean. I'll chuck that on and start reassembling everything back together again. So obviously, remember what sides you took off, the style of the clip on the back. Obviously the larger ones go into the pistons themselves, and the small ones here mount into the actual caliper side. Like so. Now we'll get this carrier installed, and then we can mount this caliper back up. Another thing you can use as well, I've got my last brakes on the rears, they're metal-free permanent lubricant. So you can just put this on the runners for the pads to stop any squealing. I'll just use like a cotton bud, or you can use a brush, and you can just, without getting it on the disc itself, just smear it on where the pads would go. So now that that's connected and assembled, we can go ahead and mount this caliper to the carrier, like so. Just going to line up the pads like that, and there you go. Replace the two caps for the 7mm Allens. And lastly, the retaining clip as well, which does not look fun to do at all. Like that. What a struggle, but we got there. So there you have it, guys. Front brake's done on the R36. This is the driver's side. Much better than what I had on there. looking forward to the next drive and seeing how they feel. Obviously the ATE pads I went for because there were less brake dust and better performance. I just went for an OEM mile, whatever you want to call it, disc. Now let's get started on the passenger side. I will just do a time lapse of the passenger side, as it's just exactly the same as this side. The only difference being it has the wear sensor, so there'll be one extra clip to undo, but that is it. Look what came in the mail. So I entered like a little giveaway thing on HPA's Instagram page, and they sent me over a free t-shirt. So bloody cool, isn't it? I like it. Got a medium, it's a bit tight, so looks like I'm gonna lose some weight to fit it. Well, it is, guys, it's all done. If you like these kind of videos, be sure to subscribe to my channel and like this video. Also check out my Instagram page too, because I just share bits and pieces of other projects as well. I've got a few cars going at the same time, so yeah, it's hard to keep up on Instagram as well as in real life, to be honest. Reality's a bit a bit crazy at the moment, but yeah, so if you want to see more DIY videos, be sure to comment down below, leave your feedback. Feedback's always great. I need to know what you guys want to see more of, what I can improve on, so that's really good. Also, I'm thinking about changing the caliper color as well, so maybe drop a comment down below to see what color you think. I want to go the blue again, but I've seen on the R36 page it's hard to get the same blue, but I don't know, we'll see how we go. Yeah, see you guys on the next video. Alright, thanks guys.